Cultivation World. In the competition of the sect, the little junior sister, adored by thousands, proudly wielded the treasured sword gifted by our master and severely injured me. Senior sister, you're about to lose this competition. I trembled and coughed up blood. My pride was trampled into the ground. No matter what, I could not afford to lose. So I pulled out an AK-47 from my storage ring. The pitch-black steel pipe appeared before everyone, causing the sect disciples to burst into laughter. What is this? Could it be that senior sister Ye's cultivation has been damaged and she's gone crazy, taking out a piece of scrap copper and iron? I don't know where this piece of scrap iron came from, and she's making it look like a magical weapon. The little junior sister who everyone adores proudly retracted the smile on her face, pretending to be troubled, and said, "Senior sister, if you admit defeat today and give up the spirit chi, then I'll show mercy. Otherwise, with the sword in your hand, it wouldn't be good if senior sister were to get hurt." I wiped the blood from the corner of my lips, touched the cold gun barrel of the AK-47. Then, I shouted loudly to my brain, "System, get out here and explain to me." The sound of the system flipping through a book echoed in my brain. After a long while, I cried out in pain, "Host, we went to the wrong world, but we are all doing missions. It's the same in any world." I angrily scolded, "How can it be the same? I clearly got the exquisite script." Before coming to this world, the system said with certainty that it wanted to go with me to the interstellar world next, and my mission was to survive until the end of this world. In order to survive in the bomb-filled interstellar world, I had exchanged all the mission points I had accumulated over the years into weapons commonly used in the interstellar world. Flying machines, rifles, nutrient solutions, and glow-in-the-dark suits, etc. In the huge storage room, all kinds of weapons were stuffed into it. Even in the corner, there were a few atomic bombs, hydrogen bombs, and tear gas stacked up. After preparing all the supplies, the unreliable system sent me to the cultivation world. What need is there for an atomic bomb in a place that uses spiritual power to cultivate? It would be a waste of all my accumulated points. The system wanted to awaken my conscience. Weapons, there is no rule that they cannot be used in the cultivation world. Anyway, we have already taken the sacrificial lamb script. If we persist until the plot ends, the mission will be considered complete. I protested. What right do you have to make me a sacrificial lamb? Just throw a bomb to flatten the sect. If you want to die, everyone will die together. No one should dream of living alone. Host, your spiritual root is damaged. It will be difficult for your cultivation to progress, and your junior sister is holding a script that is loved by everyone. Of course she wants to trample you to become a red mole in everyone's eyes. Laughing to death, in the previous world, I was still holding a machine gun to fight the undead. Blood splattered all over my face. A heart as hard as a crystal in the undead's head. In this world, how could I obediently be a stepping stone in a sweet and pampered novel? I loosened my fingers that were holding the AK-47 and furrowed my brows. The system was touched. Host, have you thought it through? As long as you try to let everyone laugh at you, and become a good person, you will meet the standard of living until the end, and our mission will be considered complete. What are you dreaming about? I held the AK-47, and violently fired 3 consecutive shots at the beloved little junior sister. I will commit a great massacre, so I won't miss my chance to live until the end. I want to see, are these useless foundation building trashes powerful, or are the 12 atomic bombs in my storage room powerful? This gun is the oldest weapon in my storage. In the refined world it definitely isn't beautiful enough. Even in the normal world it is just a discarded weapon. But in the cultivation world, the sound of the trigger being pulled scared everyone. Bang! Birds and beasts flew everywhere. Su Xingqin hadn't fully reacted yet. Her left arm had already been shot through, blood gushing out like a fountain. The armor on her body also had a small, scorched hole left behind. The armor that her master had given her was completely unable to withstand the bullet that was fired at high speed. At first she was stunned for a moment. After reacting, she let out a painful groan, hugging her arm and lying on the ground, sweating profusely in pain. Below the stage, the eldest senior brother, who had always been brazen, suddenly flew up, gently holding Su Tan Tan in his arms. While painfully examining her wound, he frowned and turned to shout at me, "Yi Qing Qing, you used a hidden weapon to harm someone again? Why don't you quickly kneel down and apologize to your junior sister?" The mighty Golden Core Elder's power rushed over, causing me to lose control and bend my knees, kneeling on the ground. The bones all over my body were cracking, almost unable to withstand such great pressure and about to break. I squeezed out the words through my teeth, "If junior sister loses, then I will use hidden weapons to harm her. If I lose, then is it possible that junior sister will use hidden weapons to harm me? Deep Ton Ton, just relying on your little cultivation, who can you defeat? Junior sister only wants to have the jade spirit chi in your hands, but you keep pushing it away, not even having the slightest demeanor of a senior sister." The jade spirit chi that Min Yuyan spoke of was the elixir I had painstakingly sought out in the cold. After nearly dying several times, I almost lost my life in the mouth of a demon beast, but in the end I was able to bring the elixir back to the sect to heal my damaged spiritual root. In the cultivation world, if the spirit root is injured, it is difficult for the cultivation to progress even half a point, almost becoming half crippled. But unexpectedly, as soon as the little junior sister returned to the sect, she knew that I brought the spirit jade back and immediately pestered the master to demand it. And she only wanted to take the spirit jade to consolidate her cultivation. Of course I did not agree. According to the sect's rules, if she did not want it, she could go to the arena and compete, and the winner would have the right to take the spirit object of the loser. The master was only worried that the little junior sister who everyone loved would make some mistake, so he did not hesitate to take out his life sword and help the little junior sister snatch the spirit jade from me. Even in today's competition, all the disciples in the sect secretly criticized me for being petty, just a spirit jade, and not having the heart to give it to my fellow junior sister. I looked straight into Ming Yuan's disdainful eyes, clearly saying each word, "Senior brother, have you forgotten that my spiritual root was used to protect you and your fellow disciples from escaping, and was injured by a demon beast? Half a month ago, in the secret realm, the little junior sister accidentally brought a demon beast, and everyone was no match for her. Seeing that everyone was about to die in the demon beast's belly, in order to let my fellow disciples live on, only I, with the foundation building cultivation, volunteered to lead the demon beast away. The demon beast chased me for a whole day and night, but still no one from the sect came to help. At the last moment, I risked my life to die together with the demon beast, and luckily survived from its hands, but my dantian was invaded by the demon beast's venom, damaging my spiritual root." Ming Yuan's face flashed a little surprised, but he soon reacted, and his disgust on his face grew bigger and bigger. "Yi Qingqing, it is obvious that he is unfamiliar. Is it necessary to count the brothers and sisters of the injured Lingzhen? My fellow disciples found a way to live in the land of death, and they also opened their mouths to kill. Yes, it is for your low, even can't kill the monster beast, but also blame on our heads. Or good Younger, on the way back to Zongmen, has been encouraging us not to worry. Younger also take the initiative to take out the crane to let us ride." I knelt down and giggled. Wu Hu is a fascinating person in Younger. Obviously, I took the monster beast away with my life. But in the eyes of younger brothers, most of the credit they can get away from the crisis is because Younger brought the monster beast. Maybe it's my smile that makes Mingyuan very angry. He hates waving at me. A spiritual force stretched out from my fingers and attached to my chest cruelly. Then the coercion has kept me in the same place, and the whole person can't move. System looked at the scene before, comfort way. That's right, you are down to earth, trampled by all kinds, and wait until the end. Whoa. I waved and the T/kick system came out in my head. Lingli was forced to stop half a foot away from my chest. A line of code blocked Lingli and then threw it back to its original owner. Before the disgust on Mingyuan's face could be transformed into fear, he was hit by his own spiritual reflection for dozens of feet. Su Shinshin also suffered a disaster in his heart and flew directly to one side. It is difficult to stop rolling on the ground for 3 or 4 times. The coercion disappeared in an instant. I wiped the dust off my knees and stood up slowly. Then withdraw the laser to shield the crowd from feeling it. This is the most common barrier in the subtle world, and its function is the same as that of the golden bell in the realm of repairing the truth. However, it will take at least 100 years for the golden bell cage to be cultivated to the point where it is worthwhile. And this kind of laser shielding film, there are 80 spare in my storage room, each of which has a very long service life. Mingyuan's injury is vague, and more importantly, he can hardly see how I did it. He held his chest like a dead dog, trying to breathe. Yi Qingqing, did you use hidden weapons again? I let go of my hand. Master Elder Brother, you clearly fix for bad, how can you blame me for using hidden weapons? Improve your cultivation when you have time, you useless dog. As soon as the words were finished, there was silence around. Mingyuan, in his 30s, has reached the level of Then, and has been praised by people who are favored by heaven and have been honored by the ancestors. And I, a loser with a wounded spirit root, can easily beat him today. I stood in the ring and looked at Mingyuan's incredible face. I said impatiently, Master Elder Brother is willing to give up, today you are my loser, be sure to come up with a spiritual object to compensate. Mingyuan was scared to jump up and shouted. I don't talk to you. I don't care about his panic, stretched out his hand and pulled out his life's core monument sword, kindly explained to him. Zongma has a rule that people who come to power are substitutes for others. Just now, you came to power with me to fight for Su Shinshin. Now that you lose, of course you have to pay. A word blocked Mingyuan's throat and made him unable to say a word. He wanted to say that he didn't come to power for Su Shinshin, but the uncomfortable appearance in Su Shinshin's heart made him afraid to speak. See, my destiny takes a hand to play with the sword, Mingyuan, as if suddenly understand what, staring at the sword was thrown around, clearly said. After talking for a long time, don't you just want to take my life's core monuments? Even if you regard the sword as a treasure, what's the point? Is a gentle girl, know how to care about others, rather than an evil mind woman like you. Yi Qingqing, don't chase after me as hard as dogskin, and I won't look at you again. I looked up doubtfully, are you sick? How long has it been? Don't you want to see a doctor? Mingyuan coughed his chin and looked at people who didn't accept this sentence at all. He instinctively asked. What do you mean? I mean, Dad. A rich spiritual sword broke into several pieces in my hand. Only a piece of broken iron falls from the hand, and when it hits the ground, it will make a harsh jingle. At the same time, I quietly took the laser gun in my hand. It's just a useless sword of brother then. The laser gun can easily crush the sword into petals. Mingyuan's face was as white as a whistle, and he scrambled to pick up the broken sword covered with mud and groaned incredibly. Read my destiny. This is a genius treasure that my father's sword made for me. I'm tired of looking at the debris on the ground. I really have my own things, so please Master Elder Brother can cut them into pieces like this sword in the future and understand my mind. After returning to the secluded place, I slowly refine the jade spirit that was taken out of my ring. The yellow spiritual force flows along the throat, and the spiritual root of Dantian conveys every trace of warmth. I can clearly feel that the broken spiritual roots are growing gradually. The system in the mind jumps out. Host, let's have a good try with the script. How did you accomplish the task like this? I don't fast slow Reiki, ask away. What does the task require? Complete the lifelong mission of good things to survive to the end. After your death, those people will be fully awake. When normal people are too hard on you, you should be a scar in their hearts and stay in their hearts forever. I slowly exhaled and swallowed the last aura of Yuling. There are many ways to make others fully aware. I cut them a few more times. The more scars they have, the faster and more thorough their awareness will be. The system felt that its duck skin and chicken skin floated up, raising a sense of foreboding. A series of screams came from outside. Yi Qingqing, you evil father, roll for me. I simply put the grenade in the warehouse, opened the detonator, and threw it at the newcomer without hesitation in the horrible eyes of the system. After a loud shaking, there was no sound outside for a long time, and it took a long time for the dog to bark. Yi Qingqing, how dare you use a coward's trick? I pushed open the door and went out, looking at people coming, pretending to smile and say. It turned out to be the second younger brother. I wonder what the second younger brother wants to do in a cold place. Su Qingzhu wiped the dust from his body, wiped the dust from his face, jumped up like a pit carrying fruit, and screamed again. Yi Qingqing, your waist, see younger not pleasing to the eye at ordinary times, don't spare the master elder brother. Su Qingzhu's heart is full of anger. As the number one master in the group obsessed with younger, this little guy always takes the lead and defends younger everywhere, hoping to dedicate the whole world to younger. I asked curiously. A waste like me can still hurt the master elder brother, so the master elder brother must be worse, right? Are you cursing your master behind your back? Agreed to the throat. Stuck in my throat and depressed for a long time, I couldn't speak. Over time, I only know that who/ing/6 said. How can I have a vicious big teacher elder sister like you, bullying younger everywhere gentle and weak, and it has simply lost the face of Zhongmen? Oh, really? Where the hell am I that makes you hate like this? This question obviously makes Su Qingzhu silly. He was about to elaborate on my crime, but when he arrived, he found that I didn't seem to have done anything evil. Even, I am the one who sacrificed myself for Zhongmen. Young people donate magic pills to their younger brothers, while older people risk their lives to save their classmates. The instant blindness didn't make Su Qingzhu wake up immediately, and he still treated me like a villain. If he said more, he would feel sick. There was another smug smile on my face, as if I was sure that I would not have a good result today. The master asked me to invite you to the discipline hall to blame yourself and be punished. I really want to see how you get rid of the master's punishment today. I looked at all kinds of weapons in the storage room again. Although I have never tried to compare subtle weapons with the cultivation of the fixed true world, it should still be redundant to play a master who only has the cultivation of Yuan Ying. I blinked to find the boundary law hall. And enter a door, coercion forced me to kneel down, the cold voice echoed in the master's head. Yi Qingqing, do you know the crime? I bite the bullet to resist the threat, while choosing the weapons in the storage room to use later, and replied angrily. Disciples don't know, please tell me. Mingyuan holding younger stood flushed with tears. Su Shinshin's arm has been tightened, and the bullet has already penetrated the unknown physical traces, leaving only a few holes. She has never suffered such a serious injury since she started, and most of the tendons in her arm are broken. Even if the wound heals, she can no longer hold the sword flexibly as usual. The nutrition in my storage room can cure gunshot wounds, but how can I take it out for her? Mingyuan, aside already uncontrollable, knelt down and kowtowed way. Master, the disciple once made an engagement with Yi Qingqing, but she is a wicked person and really doesn't deserve to be a disciple's wife. Today, the disciple begged the master to cancel the engagement. From now on, the two of us have nothing to do. After that, I hate to look through my face. I was surprised to hear this sentence and turned to look at Mingyuan in great surprise. You just said that you want to cancel our engagement? After hearing my trembling voice, Mingyuan's eyes became more proud. The arrogance and conceit on his face appeared again, almost like a god looking down at the humble little aunt as me. That's just the ignorance of childhood, nonsense made up by parents. Yi Qingqing, no matter how you have a melon belt by my side, I won't look at you again. Say that finish, he also focused on younger. Only the most upright woman in the world is my wife. I am more and more afraid, trembling, pointing to Mingyuan. You mean I have an engagement with you? I'm engaged to that 30-year-old loser again, and I've only reached the realm of your elixir? Mingyuan's stiff person doesn't know how to answer. Su Qingzhu's first reaction ruthlessly chimed in. How can a vicious woman like you compare with younger? It's normal for a master elder brother not to like you. I stroked my chest, thinking of afraid to say. I don't care if I'm defeated by that kind of waste. Today, he is ashamed to put forward to cancel the engagement, which is to know himself and support my long road of cultivation. The hall was strangely silent. Everyone knows that Mingyuan is a favored son of heaven, an existence that everyone is eager to flatter, and an outstanding person among the disciples of Zongmen. But everyone knows that I didn't hit the seriously injured favored child easily with any spiritual force today. Su Shinshin saw that everyone's eyes were focused on him, bit his lip hard, groaned a few times, and drew attention back to himself loudly. Master, it's all because Mr. Shin is not good. For the sake of a small Ganoderma lucidum, today, I am in a game with the master. Mr. Shin agreed to accept all the punishments, only to be harmonious with the clan. He also pretended to kneel down and hit his head, then frowned and held his bloody arm. By the way, success made several men jealous. Or the attendant Su Qingzhu jumped out and pointed at me to scold the first. Yi Qingqing, tiger to you or the teacher elder sister, don't know any principles, it is better to younger entry 3 years will know that observe the big picture. I was surprised to see such a short-brained person. She is the one who wants the jade spirit, and she is the one who becomes thinner. In the end, the person who holds the pot is sure Tianquan's good man and me. Master also said coldly. Yi Qingqing is just a tree of jade spirit, micro-teacher ordered you to take it out and give it to Shinshin. I reached out my hands. Master, on the way back with jade Ganoderma lucidum, I was accidentally taken away by the monster beast. Please let the disciples not get Ganoderma lucidum. Impossible, Su Qingzhu shouted, it's obvious that you can't bear to part with it, and you said that you were taken away by the monster beast. If Brother Su thinks that jade Ganoderma lucidum is so easy to get, why don't you pick one for younger yourself? Su Qingzhu's face is green again. Born in the world of ice and snow, Yuling is an extremely dangerous place with countless monster beasts. Boxing followed boxing, so he patted his chest and vowed to personally pick a Ganoderma lucidum and bring it back to younger. Su Shinshin didn't resist crying and laughing at this time and looked at me defiantly. Master and angry with all the peoples of younger way. Yi Qingqing, as a senior sister who can't take care of her classmates, please check yourself in front of Bishuang Cold Cliff. I also don't mind, happily agreed, turned to leave. Su Shinshin rushed to see me out of the discipline hall, close to my ear and whispered. The teacher elder sister, this clan, in the eyes of all people can only see me, you can't beat me, and no one will ever stand beside you. I was surprised to say bluntly. It's just a bunch of waste. Why should I ask them to stand behind me? Will full fat spread the heart of the Virgin Mary? In the last 10 years, I deeply understand a truth. Waste should die early, not pull people back alive. In the room, only Su Qingzhu and I are left. Su Qingzhu knelt in front of me, dragging the wound, crying and begging. Elder Martial sister, you can help me find Yulingzi, right? I'm sure I won't see death without saving it, will I? I stared at the dying man with interest and suddenly understood one thing. In this world, no one is bound by book consciousness. They all have normal thinking. At first, he thought I was vicious and sacrificed myself to compete for credit in front of his junior sister. A stepping stone like mine becomes more and more convenient to use, and even what does it matter if I am truly malicious? When he really got into trouble, even Su Qingzhu knew that only I could help him, so he didn't hesitate to kneel in front of me and beg. The so-called being pampered by others refers to a group of people with abundant resources who find pleasure after eating every day. Once the balance is broken and disaster strikes, pets and other things no longer exist. Humans only consider their own survival. Our brain system is happy. Host, now is a good opportunity. There are still many jade lingji in your storage ring. Take one out and be a good person. When it's over, Su Qingzhu will definitely regret what he did to you. In my storage ring, there are dozens of lingji mushrooms, because the mecha flattened a mountain in the cold and the robotic arm picked them back for me. I effortlessly retrieved it. I turned to my brother. Sister has a gift she wants to give you. Su Qingzhu's face showed a longing expression. I reached out and took out a pile of jade lingji, as well as some spirit stones and magical tools. Even a few drops of nutrient solution were poured out from the back of the hand. There is a serious wound on the hand, but the wound is starting to heal noticeably. The medicine of the exquisite world is at least more than 5,000 years old in the cultivation realm. Su Qingzhu was stunned, his face full of surprise. Thank you for delivering the medicine, senior sister. In the future, if senior sister gives any orders, junior brother will definitely spare no effort. Just after that, I took out a few coins and put them in the corner of the ring, handed them to Su Qingzhu, and then put the sum of spirits in front of him and he put the ring back. Who told you I want to send medicine, reward you a few dollars, already very pity you. Master has ordered that your training and attendance have been cancelled. Hurry up and pack up and leave and be a cleaning disciple outside the door. System crazy shouting in my mind. Host, you should love me and do your duty. We have been on a mission, haven't we? As long as you are careful with enough weapons, it is not a problem to live to the end. As for you want these people to regret it, I only ask you, will he regret it now? The system is completely angry. Kill the virgin first in the last days, which is what I used to say in the last days. Therefore, I will never allow myself to be a virgin. Su Qingzhu became panic. He desperately grabbed my skirts and painfully begged. The teacher elder sister, please your sister, you have so many spirits, I just want one tree, please have pity on me. And your magic medicine will definitely cure my injured bones and muscles. Bang! The black barrel aimed at Su Qingzhu's hand and fired. At such a close distance, a huge blood hole appeared in his right hand, with a broken bone and a clear smell of burnt skin. He rolled on the ground holding the painful wound, and I blew the laser gun and put away the storage room. Isn't it just a waste of Lingzhen? Is it a big deal? Second junior brother only has junior sister in his heart. Junior sister will definitely find Lingji for him. Senior sister doesn't have time to handle this matter. Becoming a disabled person is something that Su Qingzhu will never be able to turn over in his lifetime.